Here's what the long bass sounds like. That's at the beginning of the track. And that's sitting underneath the short bass, which sounds like this. So if you mix them together, then you get this. You can hear kind of the da-da-da-da-da-da-da effect from them interacting together. My name is Piedmont. I'm a double major in computer engineering and saxophone performance, and I'm composing the soundtrack for Polymorphic's next game. The computer engineering part ordinarily wouldn't do a whole lot for composition, but in this case it does help a lot. It will help me work with the programmers to help integrate the adaptive part of the music into the game. Then in terms of saxophone performance, I have to take a lot of music theory and aural skills classes for that. So the music theory helps, it's mostly for analyzing a piece, but it also helps to create a piece of music too. If someone asked me to write a piece for them, I'd ask them what they want the tone of the piece to be and how they're going to use the piece. Then I'd find a scale or a key that fits that tone, come up with a chord progression in that key. And then from there, I usually like to write the bass line first, and then the drums. I think the bass line helps me hear the chord progression and the key, and then the drums give the feel of the piece. From there, I usually add some chords on top and a melody. And sort of the way I think of it is if we had like a bass track, that not B-A-S-S but B-A-S-E, that's always playing, and then have like little musical Legos that you can stick on top of it whenever something happens in the game. I've never written video game music before, and everything I've done so far has been completely new to me. The first thing I wrote was a menu track. I wrote it as if I were writing just a normal piece of music, and it ended up being like 5 minutes long. And the melody didn't come in until long after the player would have already pressed play. So that was a new thing for me, was shrinking the piece down to like 30 seconds to a minute, something short enough that the player would actually be able to hear most of the piece before they start the game. Another thing I like is that we're doing an adaptive soundtrack. And what that means is the music changes in response to the gameplay. So I think that's really cool because it's going to change. I have no idea how it's going to change when it happens. So I have to write with that in mind. I've really enjoyed composing video game music. And if I decide to do that as a career, I hope that my experience not only helps me get a job composing video game music, but also helps me like improve my skills over time in the future.